When you speak to someone with a religious mindset, who has read the Bible without deeper understanding, they often interpret the war in heaven as similar to the wars they've seen or heard about on earth. But the war in heaven was not a physical battle. It was a war of ideologies. And if you'll allow me a little time, I won't just explain this from the Bible. I will show you that this war was fought not with weapons, but with words and ideas. Understanding the war in heaven. Revelation chapter 12, verses 7 through 9. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The Greek word translated war here is polemos, which refers not only to physical conflict, but also to argument, dispute, or ideological battle. This is where the English word polemic, meaning a strong verbal attack, comes from. What was the argument in heaven about? Let's explore scripture for clues. You said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. Above the stars of God, I will set my throne on high. I will sit on the mount of assembly in the far reaches of the north. Isaiah 14, verse 13. This verse is often interpreted as referring to the pride and ambition of a fallen being, traditionally understood as Lucifer/Satan. The repeated I will statements reveal a desire to rise above God, to usurp his position, and to establish a new order outside of divine love. Could this have been the cause of the argument in heaven? Satan proposing a new way of life, independent from God? Is this why he was cast out? Is this also why he cannot be accepted back into heaven? This declaration was not just prideful. It represented a complete rejection of God's nature. If we accept that God is love, then Satan's rebellion was a rejection of love itself. Satan's mindset, pride versus love. If God is love, then his nature is self-giving, humble, relational, and oriented toward others. But Satan's statement is filled with I will, 5 times in 2 verses, Isaiah 14 verses 13-14. This exposes a heart driven by pride, a desire to be above, not alongside. Independence, a refusal to remain under God's loving authority. Self-exaltation, a longing to receive glory instead of reflecting it. Rebellion against love. Love lifts others up. Satan wanted to dominate and control. Possible thoughts Satan might have had. Love makes me lesser. He may have seen God's love as weakness, believing that rulership through love was soft and inefficient, preferring power through dominance. I can be like God, but better. He wanted God's position without God's nature. He didn't want to be love. He wanted to be worshipped. Why should I serve when I can reign? Instead of reflecting God's glory, he wanted to possess it. He confused shared glory through love with seized glory through pride. The irony. Satan may have sought to rise above love, but in doing so, he separated himself from the very essence of God. In that act, he fell, not just from heaven, but from the reality of true life and being. To reject love is to reject God, and ultimately, to reject one's true self. A deeper truth. Satan's real intention in tempting Jesus. Understanding this helps us unlock the deeper meaning behind Satan's temptation of Jesus in the wilderness. If Satan had already rejected love, the very nature of God, then his temptation in Matthew 4, 8 and 9 wasn't just about power. It was an attempt to get the Son of Love to also reject love. All these kingdoms I will give you, if you fall down and worship me. This was a repeat of his original rebellion, only now he wanted to drag Jesus into the same mindset that led to his own fall. Key intentions behind Satan's offer: to seduce Jesus away from love-based rulership. Jesus came to rule through love, service, and sacrifice. Satan wanted him to rule through power, compromise, and self-interest. He was essentially saying, why die for them when you can rule them? Take the shortcut, skip the cross. to reproduce his own fall in Jesus. In Isaiah 14, Satan said, "I will ascend." Now he tempts Jesus to descend spiritually by bowing to evil, a false exaltation through compromise to corrupt the pure image of the Son. Jesus is the exact image of God. Hebrews 1:3. The embodiment of divine love. Satan, having corrupted himself through pride, now seeks to corrupt Jesus, the true image bearer, to dethrone love as the highest authority. If Jesus, the embodiment of love, bowed to Satan, it would place power above love, fear above faith, and control above communion. This would invert the divine order, making love subordinate to domination. The cosmic clash, love versus pride. This wasn't just a negotiation, it was a confrontation between two kingdoms: God's kingdom, Jesus, Satan's kingdom. Love, pride, sacrifice, self-preservation, servanthood, domination, humility, exaltation, obedience, rebellion. By refusing to bow, Jesus didn't just reject a bribe, he defended love as the true foundation of kingship.